I always say celebrities are people too, and for some reason a lot of people tend to forget that. Now it's no secret that the media and society in general glamorize celebrities to the point that they're godlike. It's almost as if there's like the average human and then there's celebrities who are like mega humans. But the reality is they're literally no different than you and I. And to no surprise, like you and I, they too have phobias. Johnny Depp has a fear of clowns, DJ Khaled has a fear of heights. Those are pretty standard. But a fear of belly buttons and antique furniture? Well, that's a little strange, no? Today we're counting down the top 10 celebrities with strange phobias. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to I.O. I'm your host, Jared Bronstein, and let me tell you, this is going to be a fun list. Before we get into it, make sure to head on over to Top 10 Central after this one for some of the best reaction videos on YouTube. I promise you will not be disappointed. Be sure to stick around to the end of this one for some comment replies, but for now, let's jump right into it. Kicking us off at number 10, Megan Fox. She's afraid of paper, also known as papyrophobia. Which I may have said wrong, I'm sorry. I wish I could explain how or why someone could be afraid of paper, but it's probably one of the most harmless things out there. I mean, sure, you get a paper cut and they really do hurt, but I don't remember the last time I even got a paper cut. Like maybe middle school? It's fair to say, considering how a lot of the world has moved digital, especially with the pandemic, that I haven't had to deal with paper for a while, but still, I never feared it. While on Jimmy Fallon, Fox explained, "Some people don't like nails across a chalkboard because it gives them goosebumps. I don't like dry paper. Scripts, newspapers, or anything that's not laminated, I have to keep licking my fingers." Aside from the lick, she also tends to keep a glass of water nearby just so she could dip her dry fingers in. At least I'm assuming that's what it's there for. Just a little dip. Reminds me of salad fingers. You guys remember salad fingers on YouTube? Ugh. Number 9, Nicole Kidman and Kylie Jenner. It's a 2-for-1 on this number, but they both have the same fear of butterflies, so I wanted to put them together. Yes, butterflies. The beautiful things that fly around flapping their colorful wings. They don't bite anyone, they don't sting, so why have a reason to fear them? Growing up in Australia, Nicole Kidman explained, "Sometimes when I come home from school, the biggest butterfly or moth you'd ever seen would just be sitting on our front gate. I would climb over the fence, crawl around the side of the house, anything to avoid to go through the front gate." Kylie, on the other hand, explained it, "This is how I think of them. Cut the wings off, and if you just look at their bodies, they're not that pretty. It's literally a bug." Now, as much as I would love to agree with Kylie, that's just not the best argument. Sharks aren't that scary. Take out their teeth and they're just big fish. See how insane that sounds? Still, they're not alone, as others also suffer from what's called lepidopterophobia. Now next up at 8, Danielle Jonas. The wife of Kevin Jonas of the Jonas Brothers has an incredibly odd fear: balloons, also known as globophobia. Usually when you think of balloons, you think of celebration, fun, happy times. For Danielle, it's fear, fear, and more fear. While on Married to Jonas, Danielle admitted to her fear, explaining to viewers, "I know it's crazy, but balloons scare the crap out of me. It's the movement of the balloons and the hitting things. It just feels like it's out of control." But it seems she's faced her fears more than once, as a family event was full of balloons, as well as a special prom night that she put on for Kevin, who never got to attend his own. Now next up at 7, Oprah Winfrey. What could one of the world's most influential people possibly have a fear of? Gum. Back in 2010, Oprah told People magazine, "I hate chewing gum. It makes me sick just to think about it. When people chew loudly or smack it and pull it out of their mouth, that's the worst." Also known as chiclophobia, rumor has it that Oprah has such a hate for gum, it's not allowed in any of the offices of Harper Studio, the media company founded by Winfrey. Now this fear isn't completely unheard of, but it seems there's another reason Oprah especially hates gum. She explained, "It comes from childhood. I grew up poor in Mississippi, and my grandmother, absolutely no hyperbole whatsoever, my grandmother used to try to save gum, so she would put it on the bedpost, she would put it on the cabinet. As a child, I used to bump into it and it would rub up against me, and you know what, it's like when you've taken it out of your mouth and it's been out for a couple of weeks, it's bad. I was afraid of it." Now at number 6, Billy Bob Thornton. Billy is known for being a pretty tough guy. He usually plays the bad boy, at least in some films. So when I found out that he's afraid of antique furniture, well, I was very surprised to say the least. I genuinely do not understand how you could be afraid of a specific type of furniture. It seems Billy wanted to clarify his fear, as it's not any kind of furniture or antique, but specifically from certain eras that give him the heebie-jeebies. Speaking with the New York Times, he explained, "My phobias have been greatly exaggerated. I don't mind a chair. I can go as far back as you want with Asia or Mexico. It's that French, English, Scottish, old, mildewy stuff. Old dusty, heavy drapes and big tables with lions' heads carved in it. Stuff that kings were around. That's the stuff I can't be around. It was too big to be functional. It creeps me out." Now technically, I guess this would be classified as furniture phobia. I'm not joking, guys, it's a real thing, look it up. Halfway now at number 5, Khloe Kardashian. A fear of belly buttons is what plagues this Kardashian, who on multiple occasions has been very vocal about her phobia. While on Ellen, she was asked what scares her, to which she replied, "Whales and belly buttons." Further explaining the latter, she said, "And now I'm gonna have to deal with, like, umbilical. Oh no, freaks me out. She was also sharing a product on Snapchat that gives mothers relief from having an itchy belly button while pregnant, but still said, I have such a phobia with belly buttons, and I know when you're really pregnant your innie becomes an outie. I'm so freaked out that's going to happen to me. I'm assuming everyone's belly button does that, I don't know. I wonder if mine has to. Does it have to become an outie? She also apparently explained on her app, you can't touch mine and I don't want to touch yours. When I'm in the shower, I wear hand mitts and I scream every time I wash my belly button. She's not alone, this is a fairly common fear called omphallophobia, but it's apparently curable. I mean, technically most phobias are, but still. At number 4 we got Liam Payne. Liam's got a fear of spoons, but it's not a fear like he can't see or even hold one. He explained in an interview, see, I'm not so much scared of spoons, I'll hold one, but I don't like eating with them. If they're not my spoons, if that makes sense. It is a bit weird. When I was a kid, I was a bit naughty at school, and when you're naughty, they made you do the washing up. I had to wash all these nasty spoons, and then it just stuck with me after. I don't know what people are doing with their spoons. I don't want to know. Now, I'm not sure what a young Liam saw or touched while he was washing spoons, and I'm not so sure that I want to know. Still, there is a name for this phobia, phobia. I'm not sure who decides what's considered a legitimate phobia and what's not, but apparently Liam's phobia matches the criteria necessary. And honestly, given the whole pandemic, I kinda understand this fear. Maybe I'll just walk around with my own cutlery moving forward. Just like go to restaurants and stores. Hey, I got my fork and knife. At number 3, Rita Ora. This one seems like it would make your day-to-day life incredibly difficult as it's something you literally cannot avoid. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. Rita has a fear of toilets. In a 2012 interview, she said, I always feel that when I go to the toilet that something's going to come out of the bottom. I have this thing where I think the tunnel must start from somewhere, and sometimes I think, what if something comes out of the toilet? Alright, confession time guys. After I first saw snakes on a plane, I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie, but there's a scene where a guy goes to the bathroom, the snake comes up from the toilet and bites his Johnson. So for maybe a few weeks or months, years even, before I'd go to the bathroom either standing or sitting, I'd always check to make sure nothing was coming up. As crazy as it sounds, people have found snakes in their toilets before, but I don't think I gotta worry about that here in Toronto. I'm not sure there's a name for this one, as I found a fear of using public toilets, but it's related to how others would perceive you for doing so, not something coming at the other end. So I don't think there's like an official phobia name for this one. Moving on to number 2, Kristen Bell has a fear of pruny fingers. Bell was actually exposed by her husband Dax Shepard, who posted a photo of a smiling Bell in a pool with gloves on. Caption, my bride wears gloves in the pool because she hates the feeling of pruny fingers on skin. Hashtag Hollyweird, hashtag I love her. He explained even further while on Jimmy Kimmel saying, what I have been told thus far is she just doesn't like going in the pool. She'll take the kids out there, but she just sits in a lawn chair or whatever. But on a hot sunny LA day, she claimed she had to jump in. But before apparently said, I have to get my pool gloves. She appeared with these gloves, seemingly intended for pool wear. When her fingertips are pruny, she doesn't want to touch other people's skin. There isn't a scientific name for this phobia, but to say it doesn't exist would be ignorant, because clearly it does in Belle and I'm sure others around the world. Now at number 1, Christina Ricci. Suffering from what's called botanophobia, Ricci has a fear of houseplants. She explained, if I have to touch one after already being repulsed by the fact that there is a plant indoors, then it just freaks me out. It seems the fear stems from the soil being dirty, so maybe it really is more so a hygiene or germ phobia than a fear of indoor plants. Still, it wouldn't make sense for her to fear indoor plants but not have any issues with plants outdoors. That being said, when it comes to fears and phobias, sometimes things don't need to necessarily make sense, as your mind has the power to make you believe things that aren't necessarily true. It's called anxiety. I know all about it. And that does it for the top 10 celebrities with strange phobias. Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below, and also let me know if you have any of the same phobias as these celebrities. Maybe not as severe, but still, I think it'd be interesting to find others who are afraid of pruny fingers. And I'm not trying to call your phobia strange, even though I called their phobia strange. It's a little strange, but nothing to be ashamed of. Anyways guys, for now let's play out some comments from the video. Billionaire influencer arrested and exposed for faking his wealth. Paul Kalayanis said, I never understood why the more expensive clothes were, the uglier it looked. That's kind of what I was saying, is like, I don't understand why Gucci makes shoes with these like spikes, and like I've seen Gucci shoes that look like someone just took a bunch of paint and just tossed it towards the shoes and it just splattered. And people were like, what do you mean dude, that's style? And it's like, no, that looks like you just paid a lot more money for something that most people would just say are dirty shoes. ZLB Art said, makes you wonder how many are still out there faking it. That's kind of the thing with social media. I mean, if you guys follow me, I haven't posted a picture for a long time, but I went through this phase of like, I want to post pictures of me as an influencer, and I would edit them and I would have all these model type poses, and then I was like, this is not me. I don't take myself that seriously, and I don't want to portray that on social media, so that's why I'm kind of changing that up a little bit. I'm going to start posting more fun, goofy stuff, you know? Like me laughing and I don't know. Cat V said, wow, that just shows you that not everything is what it seems on the internet. I don't know if you guys watch till the end of every video, but I've been trying to say this in every single video. You guys gotta educate yourself on everything that's going on right now. You'll see a lot of stuff on social media. There's a lot of extremists, both left and right, which I will say there are on both sides, and they try to push their agendas. So do not believe everything you see on the internet, and please keep yourselves informed. That's all I'm gonna say, guys. I've been your host, Jared Bronstein, and we'll see you in the next one. She's not alone. This is a fairly common fear called... Why do I do this to myself? Phobia. Now at number 1, Christina Ricci. Ricci, for sure, Ricci. You could just call it Giannis. Probably call it Giannis. Call it Giannis, I would say.